Howdy, this is Lemmy with Revzilla coming at you today with another 2-minute lesson. Today we're going to be talking about drag pipes. One of the questions I get very frequently from folks who are either reading or watching say, Lem, should I run a set of drag pipes on my bike? The short answer to that is no, you should not run drag pipes. Now the much longer answer, of course, is you should run drag pipes in a few very, very specific scenarios. For instance, if you are indeed drag racing, that's where the name comes from, that's where these things really belong, is on a drag strip. When we look at a drag pipe, these are actually very basic. It's a tube. There's just a tube. There's nothing in here. It is a simple tube made to move as much exhaust gas as possible at high velocity from the engine out of the motorcycle. And they do that actually very, very well and very efficiently. However, to work really well, these things are designed to work at high RPMs. Remember, when you're on a drag strip, you launch the bike at high RPMs, you keep it at high RPMs, and it sort of stays there all the way until the race is over. However, most people asking this question are asking it for street bikes. Now, street bikes are not operated in that manner at all. Instead, a street bike has to operate at other RPM ranges, low as well as middle RPM ranges as well. And a drag pipe doesn't do so well there. Because these things do flow an awful lot of exhaust gas, they don't do well at lower RPM ranges because the exhaust gases sort of wander through here and they can get kind of lazy because they're not being shoved out by a hard-working engine. The other thing that winds up happening too is because there's no muffler at the end of these, no baffles, is this weird phenomenon where the exhaust gas kind of leaves the exhaust and then it turns around and comes back in. So not only is the engine now pushing out the exhaust gas that needs to get out of the pipe, but instead it's also fighting against exhaust gas that it's already pushed out, that's now come back in, and it's pushing it out again. You're making the engine do all sorts of work it doesn't need to do. That phenomenon is known as reversion, and reversion sucks horsepower. Now again, considering the fact that if you're on a street bike, you're probably going to be operating low in the rev range as well as in the middle of the rev range, in addition to high rev stuff, something like a baffled muffler works really, really well. It acts kind of like a damper. It keeps those exhaust gases from coming back inside the pipe. It keeps things moving smoothly out the pipe. And because it does offer a little bit of a restriction, it actually keeps the exhaust velocity up. It helps the exhaust get out when the bike is not at those high revolutions. So I would say for most folks, don't run a set of drag pipes. They're kind of annoying to your neighbors, and they're actually going to rob your bike of power in the area of the power band where you probably need it most on the street. You know a little bit more about exhaust now. Make sure you catch some of our other 2-minute lessons. I'm Lem. I'm out of here.